the ramp itself went from the top 3 miles under ice on a constant degree angle. And they took a laser measurement of hundreds of them. And every single symbol in this hard obsidian was exactly the same 7.5 inches. And that's how they determined that the ceilings were 80 feet tall in these gigantic 9-acre, square acre rooms. Now, the black sun was on the back of every door and the doors were 18 by 23. So who was, or what was coming through those huge doors was a big question. An archaeologist and a language expert are there and have been there for a long time, and he is there to take out the language specialist.
Right.
He knew that if he stayed on a hallway that he was supposed to come, and he had various things that had been told to him. And when he started down a specific ramp and he turned around, he's now looking at the back of this gigantic black door. It hadn't occurred to him when he came in. He was looking for this ramp that is going to take him into this facility, which I'm going to tell you about. But he turned around, and that was, he said, one of the most stunning moments in his career. Because on the inside of this gigantic mobile door was the black sun that Hitler put on everything in World War II.
Explain.
And the black sun is where you have those arms that come off. Here's a circle. The image of the black sun has always been mysterious. He would find that there were, on the back of all of the doors in this gigantic facility, anything inside of where he was, you could not get to another section if you didn't go a long distance, get on a ramp. The ramp itself went from the top 3 miles under ice on a constant degree angle. And he, again, was the only person who had this information. And he said it was the strangest thing that as not knowing where anything was, that the sizes were gigantic. Were there still beings using all of this? What was he going to find? And when he got on this ramp, he said, it seemed to him like he went for hours doing nothing but going on a ramp that took him down 3 miles. And eventually, he got off of the ramp and he said, at that point, I've gone down so far. And yet I come out into a room that eventually we found that the size was 3 square acres. And some of the ceilings, they estimated, were 80 feet high.
8 stories tall. So these are on scales that we can't even imagine.
That's right. And who would use them?
Right.
Down in one of the deep places, it was his primary first assignment, and now he's staggered by where he is. But it's the archaeologist who has been there doing photographs and measurements of walls of the black obsidian that have all kinds of symbols. And he said they were discussing that they were between Mayan, and which is sort of where you make images, and languages that would be pictures, as opposed to the way we would think of writing letters. And they took a laser measurement of hundreds of them, and every single symbol in this hard obsidian was exactly the same 7.5 inches. And then he said the only thing they could conclude is that there was a technology that had been applied 3 miles down, 2 miles down, inside of this gigantic facility with 9 square acre rooms with thousands of symbols in the obsidian that had to have come into the obsidian perhaps in one of a technology that could do this, heat, melting. And when he got to the archaeologist and the language expert, that man stressed that whatever this was, no humans were involved.
Where he has seen these symbols and hieroglyphs somewhere else.
And in that first meeting with that archaeologist is when Spartan 1 told me, this has absolutely nothing to do with Homo sapien. Linda, this is a gigantic base being used by extraterrestrials that, however it functions, I ended up going back up the raft, that angled path. And he said, and I got to an area that I wanted to see if I could go from the angle into a hallway to get myself out back to that door, that big door. He wanted.
These aren't halls of ice. These are black obsidian stone walls, the ramp, everything. This isn't
69 degree Fahrenheit.
Right.
He gets up to another area to get out, and it's a gigantic hallway, and it has light, the color of lime green, that as he walks, the light keeps coming on, and he realizes we're thinking that this is ancient archaeology, whether it's ETs or humans.
Right.
He said, this place is operational. It's 69 degrees Fahrenheit. It has light as you walk. It has the protection of these gigantic doors.
Were the symbols also connected to the Mayans or anything off planet or other cultures around the world, and not just the black sun, but were there other cultures and symbology that were there?
No, the black sun was on the back of every door that and the doors were 18 by 23. So who was or what was coming through those huge doors was a big question. But the way he described, as you went down into this place, as he went down into that ramp, the walls got bigger, taller. That's when they were measuring things with these lasers. And that's how they determined that the ceilings were 80 feet tall in these gigantic 9-acre, square-acre rooms. I said,
are those for 80-foot beings, or what do you speculate?
I said, what? Why?
Right.
Why 80-foot ceilings?
Right.
Linda, if I knew, I would tell you. We really don't fully understand to this day what this operation is. But I'm assuming, Linda, 69 degrees Fahrenheit, glowing lime light. Our conclusion is this is a base that is operational, and it is being used by intelligences that are coming, going, using our planet, using our moon, but who, what, why, and how.
Well, were the walls sentient? Was it alive?
Could be, I don't know, but he drew for me and described for me what else he had been educated about. Who were the ETs? They were not greys. They were not insects. They were not praying mantises. They were not even exactly human, but probably more, no hair, head shaped like this, tall, and that they were humanoid. And humanoid is associated with this gigantic base.
If you enjoyed this, make sure to watch the next video on Awaken Zone. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, but you won't want to miss what's coming next.